you beautiful curiosities. Welcome to the very first Music Monday. You will notice that I am recording on a webcam, and this is partially because I realized that I was stressing way too much on bringing the same production value I do with Curiosities to my Monday and Fridays as well, and it really doesn't seem necessary, especially when we're going to be talking about something more low-key, like today, where we're going to be talking about warm-ups. And the reason we're talking about warm-ups today, or at least one particular warm-up, is because it's the first Music Monday, so it seemed kind of appropriate. Also why I'm jokingly wearing warm-up clothes. Also, sitting on a yoga ball. Boingy, 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 boingy. So, I want to start out with the warm-up that I actually start pretty much whether I'm going to be singing, for the most part, every day, just because it's pretty good for you anyway. Also good for breath control, as well as warming up your lower register, and your higher, I guess, at the end. I highly recommend it for, if you're going to be doing any kind of performing or, recording, singing, anything that's going to put an extra strain on your voice. And even, and I will admit to doing this, if you go to a convention, not a bad thing to do every morning, because sometimes you lose your voice because of con plague, and other times you lose your voice because you're talking a lot more than you do on a day-to-day basis. Just to preface this real quick, if you're not sure how to breathe from your diaphragm-esque area, let's go over that. My best recommendation is lay down on your back and sort of let yourself relax as if you're about to fall asleep, because eventually you will just sort of naturally go back to breathing like that, because as far as I know, nobody naturally breathes from eventually you'll be able to translate that to when you're like straight up, but that's a breathing exercise you're gonna have to do on your own if you've never done that before. So it's just good to be in a comfortable position where you can keep a soft focus without falling over. So I really don't recommend standing. So essentially what you're going to do is you're going to be sitting or kneeling or whatever that allows you to sort of acquire that soft focus. And then you're going to tilt your head down just slightly at a sort of 45-degree angle. Keep that soft focus. Lower breathing. And you're going to inhale and just sort of imagine, this is going to sound weird, but this is how this was described to me, like you have an orange, like right here. So just kind of opening up the back of your throat. And then you're going to just go down to like the lowest note you can hit. And it do not try to make this pretty. There is nothing about this that's supposed to be pretty. In fact, you're going to kind of sound like you're that chick from The Grudge. So it's just a little bit. Dropping the jaw down. Making this fantastically like church mouth, I'm going to call it, because you're going to have that nice narrow open. I don't know if you can see that. My TMD, you can probably hear popping. Yeah! Jaw issues. Now note, this is not the same as frying your voice, which I don't even know if I can mimic anymore because I was so trained against it. It should not feel like it's hurting. If it's feeling like it's hurting, you're probably doing something wrong. But really, you're just trying to sink down to like the lowest sound you can make, and don't worry about trying to sound pretty, because warm-ups are not really about trying to sound pretty. They're about warming up. And if you've seen like pretty much any sort of actual workout warm-ups, they're not usually graceful or pretty. It's about going, okay, where's my voice today? Or okay, where's my body today? Same thing, really. Workout clothes. I like to do it for about 5 minutes at least. It's really up to you how long you have. Relax, and as you're doing the breathing, it's all about just relaxing your body. And you're going to realize that you're going to run out of breath fairly often before you actually, like, you're going to feel like you can't make that noise, and you'll still have breath, like, somewhere in your stomach, essentially. That's pretty normal. This is about breath control as well. Eventually, those will become more closer together, but that's kind of how this works. So, for about 5 minutes, we're doing the whole, I'm not going to make you watch me do that for 5 minutes. I'm not even making you watch me do that for a minute. But just to recap. And don't be afraid to drool a little on yourself, because that's probably going to happen. Again, not trying to sound pretty. That is so huge right now, because it's about warming up your tool, your instrument, not... No one is listening to me right now, so it doesn't matter if I sound kind of funny. None of that. Doesn't matter. So once you've done your little grudge noises. We're just gonna go. I like to think of it as frog ribbits. I don't even know, but kind of like a high-pitched, goofy, like ow. I don't know, but it's basically up and over. You're getting in your head voice. It's the lower and upper register, and I do that before I do any sort of one dun 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 dun. We'll go over that another time. So essentially, that is my first warm-up that I will do kind of the day, really, in general. It's kind of nice to do also when my voice is feeling a little ticklish, which it kind of is right now. While it's important not to strain your voice when you've got like a cold coming on, it's also important not to basically limp on it. So don't do anything over strenuous, but make sure you're still taking care of it. Hydrating, lots and lots of hydration. Because as good as, tea and honey can be for your voice and repairing it, nothing will be as good for it as keeping your vocal cords hydrated with just good old-fashioned H2O. And that about covers what I wanted to talk about today. If you have any questions or anything you'd like me to cover in particular on these, obviously song videos will also be happening on Music Mondays, but not every Music Monday, because until this is my full-time job, that's a lot of work to do. For just, but anyway, this is for you. So if you have questions about anything, if there's something in particular you want to know about, feel free to leave it in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you as always, and I will see you guys Wednesday.